So, welcome everybody to our Radha Shakti Sangha Krishna Connection series on Ananta Nivriti. And today's speaker is Kulavati Krishna Priya. I'm very happy to be introducing her. So, welcome everybody to our, okay. I'm very happy
Hare
to
Krishna.
see her blossom and bloom into Krishna consciousness, and she's doing many services. She's a writer, she's an editor, she's a programmer, she's she's expert at social media content writing and many other fields and research especially. So I'm very curious to hear what she has to say on this important topic of hypocrisy. And yeah, so here we go. Over to you, Krishna Kulavati Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavis. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, Sri Radha Govinda Mataji. I offer my obeisances and I please pray for me that I am able to speak what is written in the Shastras and what our Guru Parampara intends to impart to us. So I begin with the Mangalacharan. उमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण जय So I begin with the class, and the topic is hypocrisy destroys faith. So you can see my screen. Okay. So when we speak about hypocrisy, it actually means that it is something which makes us become duplicitous. And that is why it destroys our faith. Because when we speak about faith, it is the opposite of becoming duplicitous. Duplicitous in the sense there is a discrepancy between our thoughts and our words, our thoughts and our actions. What happens is when we it's something that is there in our mind, but what we are doing from outside, what people can see, it's something else. So when there is a discrepancy between our thoughts and our actions, that results in hypocrisy or deceitfulness or crookedness. So these are the various synonyms of hypocrisy. When we start practicing, when we become hypocritical, then what happens? We start losing faith. We start losing that trust, that reliability, and as a result of that, we generally, what happens, we fall down in our devotional practices. So as the topic says, hypocrisy destroys faith. So we need to understand what is actually faith. What is the meaning of faith? What does this mean? We need to go a little deep into this word faith. Faith is the root of bhakti. Bhakti means, bhakti is like a plant, And the first seed that we put in bhakti is Shraddha. Shraddha means faith. And when we put Shraddha, then we actually start practicing other limbs of bhakti. We start moving up to the ladder. We start associating with devotees, and we do other devotional activities. But it all starts with faith. Faith means Shraddha, the root of bhakti. When we start, we always have to believe something. We always have to have that firm conviction. So, unless and until we are not convinced that this is going to help me in my life, we cannot develop that faith. So, in Krishna consciousness, when we come to Krishna consciousness, we have to be convinced that Krishna is my friend, Krishna is my supreme benefactor, and Krishna is I'm only going to depend on Krishna. He is the supreme proprietor, supreme benefactor, and supreme friend. So unless and until we have this faith, we have this shraddha, we have this firm conviction, we cannot even start bhakti. Bhakti Vinod Thakur says that faith is actually the qualification of bhakti. We cannot do bhakti without developing even a tinge. Even if we develop a tinge of faith, it's enough to start the practice of devotional activities. But it's impossible if we are not convinced, if it's impossible if we don't come to the conclusion that Krishna is our only, the only person on whom we can depend. So when we start putting the seed, just like we see in this picture, this the bud, the plant has grown and it has developed into a small plant, but the seed is bhakti. The seed is faith. So when we have the faith and then we water the soil with other devotional activities, with devotee association, and with other things, then what happens? This plant gradually, this plant grows. This plant grows and it becomes very beautiful plant, and the fruits which are born in this plant, it is actually Krishna Prema, the fruit of this Bhakti Lata. Bhakti Lata means the plant of Bhakti is Krishna Prema. So we know this verse according to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the science of devotional service. It is like a ladder. Adau Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sango Tan Bhajan Kriya Tato Anartha Nivritti Syat Tato Nishtha Ruchis Tata Atha Saktis Tato Bhavas Tata Prema Bhyudanchita Sadhakanam Sadhakanam ayam premna pradurbhave bhavet kramaha. Kramaha means sequence. So this is the sequence, and it's just like a ladder. So the base the base ring of the ladder is Shraddha. Unless and until we have Shraddha, unless and until we have faith, unless and until we develop this faith, we cannot move on to the next step of the ladder. We have to go step by step, and this is very important to understand that if we really want to develop this Shraddha, if you really want to uh, develop this Shraddha, we have to have that firm conviction, and that firm conviction can only be possible if there is a personal conviction, there is a personal yes from our side that Krishna is going to protect me, Krishna is going to help me, Krishna is always going to there by my side. Unless and until we have that firm yes inside, we cannot even progress a little bit in our bhakti. So we also see in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.62 that how Mahaprabhu has described Shraddha. श्रद्धा शब्दे विश्वास कोहे सुदृढ़ निश्चय कृष्ण भक्ति कोइले सर्व कर्म कृत होय. Translation: Shraddha is confident, firm faith that by rendering transcendental loving service to Krishna, one automatically performs all subsidiary activities. Such faith is favorable to the discharge of devotional service. So, as we had said earlier, this is, confirmed from this verse also that Shraddha is actually the firm faith that I render service to Krishna, and by rendering service to Krishna, I am performing all subsidiary activities. As we all know, Srila Prabhupada has explained this to us very nicely that if we water the root of the plant, we don't need to water the other leaves of the plant. So that means that if we are convinced that Krishna is my friend, and Krishna is if we only depend on Krishna, we don't need to depend on other things. So this conviction, this faith, this shraddha is very important, and is the only qualification. This will only help us in the discharge of our devotional service. Even we have seen in Nectar of Instruction also, and in Nectar of Devotion also, there are many places where we see that the three divisions of the devotees, the Kanishta Adhikari, the Madhyama Adhikari, and the Uttama Adhikari, all the three divisions, they are also classified according to the degree of their Shraddha. We see in the Nectar of Instruction, Upadeshamrita, that the Kanishta Adhikari, he has Komal Shraddha. And then the Madhyam Adhikari, his Shraddha is a little bit more. And then the Uttama Adhikari, he is like completely convinced. So even we see our acharyas, even we see that they have actually classified the classification of the devotees also, the various stages of devotional, the progress of devotion is also, the parameter is faith. Faith is the only parameter that actually measures how much we can render our devotional service. Bhagavan Sri Krishna, Lord Krishna, he also says in the Bhagavad Gita, "Ye yatha mam prapadyanti," meaning that he will reciprocate with us according to our own degree of surrender. That is also intended to tell us that it is Shraddha. Srila Prabhupada has given this example that if you are surrendering to Krishna, you have to surrender cent%. He mentions cent%, meaning that you don't have to keep reservations. That 20% is for my wife, or 30% is for my children, 10% is for my friends, and this remaining is for Krishna. No. When we have cent% faith, when we have cent% Shraddha on Krishna, then we actually are able to perform our devotional services very nicely. So, what happens when we move away from this beautiful uh, principle, when we start moving away from this beautiful principle, implying that what happens when we become hypocritical? Hypocritical means duplicity, and faith actually means simplicity. So it is the opposite of faith, because the intention of both these two principles, faith and hypocrisy, is faith implies simplicity, and hypocrisy implies duplicity. So both of these, they cannot stay together, just like sunshine and darkness. Wherever there is light, there can never be darkness. So in the same way, if we have faith, there can never, if we don't have faith, or vice versa. So both the things cannot exist simultaneously. When we develop this vice of hypocrisy, then the virtue of faith, it gets into danger. The very delicate seed that is very essential for our devotional service, it actually it becomes weak, and then as a result of that, we start losing faith, and we get, when we and then we start distancing ourselves from the Lord. This duplicity happens when we have some hidden intentions, some hidden motives. um, we don't want to accept uh, certain things, certain aspects of our character, or anything. It actually means that we are not being transparent. We are not um, we are not saying what we are thinking. There is a discrepancy, there is a disturbance somewhere, and this disturbance actually makes us more complicated. It makes us more difficult. It makes people difficult to understand us, and this duplicity leads us to become less simple in the way, like Srila Prabhupada said, simple living, high thinking. So what happens as we start becoming less simple, we start, our thoughts become more complicated. The simple living, high thinking philosophy doesn't work then. And then we trouble ourselves and we trouble others also, because we are not true to ourselves and we are not able to be authentic to others also. So when this happens in our Krishna consciousness, then what happens? We tend to lose faith, we tend to lose the association of devotees. Just like faith encourage us encourages us to move ahead in the next ladder rung, and that is the association of devotees. So hypocrisy actually doesn't help us. It actually, we may lose opportunities, we may lose so many opportunities of progressing in bhakti. So many things can happen, and it will actually, it endangers our spiritual journey. So when we speak about hypocrisy, it is very important to understand by this example of real currency and counterfeit currency. When we say real currency means it is authentic, it is real, and counterfeit means counterfeit. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj has also said in one of his lectures that when we are not true to ourselves, it makes us become counterfeit, it makes us become false, and that actually doesn't help us in our devotional life. Among so many demons which Krishna killed, whom Krishna killed, this demon, particularly Bakasura, he represents this vice of hypocrisy. He actually represents cunning, duplicity, deceptive behavior, and hypocrisy, the outward manifestation of a false lifestyle of cheating activities. So, what had happened? This Bakasura, Baka means crane. So, he came in the form of a crane. And when uh, he came to kill Krishna, and he disguised himself as a crane. So I had heard in one of the lectures of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, he has very beautifully explained this particular pastime, and he says that a crane, when you see a crane is in the river or wherever, and he is standing with his one leg up, and it seems this is actually very much similar with yogis. They also stand with one leg up, as if they are very austere. So these cranes, they are also standing with one leg up, and it seems like they are very noble, very virtuous, like just like the yogis. But actually, what is happening? They are standing with one leg up, but their eyes is always searching for fishes in the pond. They are looking for the fishes, so they are just waiting for the fish to come, and then the moment they see the fish, and they just attack the fish and kill that fish. But it seems like they are very serene, standing with one leg up. It seems like that, but it's not like that. They have hidden intentions, bad intention of killing that fish. So this is a clear example of how hypocrisy manifests. So hypocrisy means just like this crane. He is posing himself as a very virtuous, just like a virtuous yogi, as Maharaj had said, but he has got these hidden intentions, and that intentions actually makes that hidden intentions is not good. The moment it sees a fish, it just, Maharaj says, the moment it sees a fish, it just catches it. The demon came assuming a form of a crane, a huge crane. So Bakasur also came in the form of crane, and he was just waiting for Krishna to come. And what he did, as soon as Krishna came, he swallowed him. But Krishna expanded himself, and and then he had to and then Krishna came out. He couldn't tolerate Krishna's size, but then again he tried to kill Krishna. And but then what did Krishna do? Krishna with his foot, he pressed his lower jaw, and with his hand Krishna pressed his upper jaw and then just pulled, and its body tore into pieces. The demon was then dead. So we see that with this example, how uh, this particular anartha, this particular, because all the demons with whom Krishna killed, they all represent one particular anarthas of jivas. So this is also one particular aspect of our weaknesses, and we have to address and we have to rectify it. Unless and until we don't recognize or rectify it, we cannot help it, because we all have this tendency. Human beings have got four defects. One of those four defects is the cheating propensity. We all tend to become we all tend to become have this cheating propensity. So there are huge chances that there will be discrepancy between our thoughts and our actions. The moment and sometimes it can be, the moment we recognize this, we immediately should you know try to rectify it. So this is very important to recognize this and to help us stop being cunning, duplicitous, deceptive, hypocritical, because this will trouble us a lot. So there are many examples of hypocrisy, and one of the very famous examples is Duryodhan, the hypocrisy of Duryodhan versus the sincerity of Vidura's wife. So Duryodhan was, he actually had called and invited Krishna for lunch, and he made very elaborate arrangements, but he had some hidden intentions. I mean, he did not he did not love Krishna, we all know, and Duryodhan was very, very cunning. So when he invited Krishna, he made lavish arrangements for him, but Krishna was not happy to see that, because he doesn't want lavish arrangements for us. He is the supreme proprietor. He doesn't want our service, actually, because when we do something for him, we actually do it out of love. So so Krishna did not like that, and he did not go to he did not accept his lavish lunch arrangement. But at the same time, there was Vidura's wife, and she was she also, when Krishna saw her, so he went to her because she had that sincerity. That sincerity, when we say sincere, it is actually again the opposite of being hypocritical. Sincere means you are true to your words. There is a uh, there is no discord between your thoughts and your actions. It's at peace. The thoughts and actions are at peace with each other. So when Krishna went there, Vidurani, she actually, she was so engrossed and so lost to see Krishna that she was actually giving him the she was peeling the bananas and giving him those she was throwing the bananas and she was giving him those peeled things. So Krishna became very Krishna ate those he ate the skin of the banana because he actually doesn't want our lavish arrangements. He actually wants us to be sincere. When we are sincere, then we are able to love with sincerity. Then we are able to express our love, and that is the main intention. Srila Prabhupada has described bhakti as loving devotional service, meaning it's just not devotional service, it's loving devotional service. And love can only manifest when we are sincere. Love can only manifest when we are true to our from our from our thoughts. There is no discrepancy. So when Vidurani, she offered the skin of the banana to Krishna, he ate them because Krishna, as he said in Bhagavad Gita, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, he accepts whatever we offer to him out of love. And he doesn't like us if we give him lavish arrangements, but we have got some hidden motive, some hidden intentions like Duryodhan had. So that is the basis. That is the main thing that I was trying to portrayed through this example, that how hypocrisy never helps us. And when we actually practice devotional service, we have to be mindful of this particular thing, that we don't deviate from this principle of being sincere, so that the only way that is the only way to express our love. There is one more example, which we will that was one example was from Krishna Leela. This is from Gaura Leela, when Mahaprabhu actually chastised Chota Haridas, who we know the story of Chota Haridas. So Mahaprabhu, he actually does, Mahaprabhu particularly, he hates hypocrisy. He doesn't like kapatiya. Kapat means hypocrisy. So what had happened, Chota Haridas, he was actually, when Mahaprabhu found that he was actually attracted to a woman. So, so Mahaprabhu could sense that, because he was a brahmachari, and according to Vedic scriptures, you should not, if you, you should not deviate from your principles. Uh, Srila, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, I had heard in one of his lectures, even he had said that it's better to be a good grihastha than to be a worst brahmachari. So, so this example where Mahaprabhu chastised Chota Haridas, this example shows that he was not at all happy that in the guise of a brahmachari, Chota Haridas had these thoughts in his mind. So he chastised him, as a result of which Chota Haridas, he committed suicide. He went to Triveni and he committed suicide. And on the other hand, Shivananda, another associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when his wife was he was married, and when his wife was pregnant, then Mahaprabhu was very happy, and he blessed him. He also tell that he was very delighted that his that Shivanand and his and has his wife pregnant. So here we see that since Shivananda was the grihastha, and not he was true to his words, like he was not like Chota Haridas. There was no discrepancy. So Mahaprabhu actually, he liked that. So Mahaprabhu actually showed this as an example, so that we also learn that hypocrisy is very dangerous. It seems like if anyone sees this, hears this, they feel that Mahaprabhu was very strict, but actually he did this so that we can understand from this example that that hypocrisy is very dangerous. The devotees of the Lord always help the Lord to uh, manifest his leelas. So Chota Haridas, as a devotee, he also helped the Lord to manifest this leela of showing us, the sadhakas, that if you become hypocrite, if you become not true to your words, then it's a very dangerous thing. So afterwards, Chota Haridas, since he was chanting and he was a devotee, afterwards he actually became a Gandharva. But this whole Leela, it was there just to show us how hypocrisy is so dangerous, how hypocrisy will never help us in our devotional services. So these two examples, that one from the previous one, Duryodhan and Vidurani, and this Mahaprabhu's dealings with Chota Haridas and Shivananda, this actually clarifies this point, that if we are really not at all, if we really want to advance in our devotional life, we have to give up this aspect of hypocrisy. So there are various other instances where our acharyas have spoken a lot about hypocrisy. Jiva Goswami also says that out of the five effects of chanting the holy name, the first effect he actually mentions in his Sandarbhas, the first effect is crookedness. Crookedness means becoming dishonest in our behavior or being hypocritical. So he gives this, and he actually gives this example of Shilajiva, this example of Duryodhana to illustrate this particular point. that when we don't chant properly, there are various effects of those offenses. And one of the very first offenses is crookedness, hypocrisy. So when we observe that we are becoming crooked, or in other words, he has mentioned, just to read the exact words, crookedness or hypocrisy, kautilya means hypocrisy, was described as one of the five primary effects of offenses. In contrast, Shraddha results in simplicity. A devotee has no desire for name and fame. A true devotee, therefore, makes no effort to achieve these. So, when we do devotional service, we have to be very careful that we don't have these hidden intentions of puja, labh, and pratishtha. As Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has also described in his Madhurya Kadambini, that amongst the various anarthas, there are certain anarthas which actually arise out of bhakti also. It means that sometimes we are going to give a class, and sometimes this particular thing comes up in our mind that I hope people praise me, or I hope people like me. So this is actually a hidden intention of getting of wanting puja labh and pratishtha. So this is actually also not, we are actually not not being very sincere. So these kind of anarthas which arise out of bhakti, means puja, labh, and pratishtha is one of them. These actually become big obstacles in our goal to attain Krishna prema. And the only way to remove these obstacles is to becoming honest, so that we can promote integrity in our dealings with others. So, how can we do this? We can do this by taking the shelter of the Guru Parampara. We can do this by becoming true to our purpose, by becoming more surrendered to Krishna. So, as we see in this picture, we are part and parcel of Krishna. We should surrender fully unto Krishna with sincerity of purpose through the transparent media of the Guru Parampara. So there are two words which I have marked bold. This is, one is sincerity of purpose, and the other is transparent. Transparent is implied to the medium of the Guru Parampara, and sincerity of purpose is our own intention. So, when we speak about the Guru Parampara, we see that there is no discrepancy in the Guru Parampara. Whatever Krishna spoke to Narada and then Narada to his disciple, it has been carried forward to up to Srila Prabhupada, who is 32nd in the disciplic succession of the Guru, Gaudiya Vaishnava Guru Parampara. So, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Guru Parampara. So when we actually start becoming more submissive, when we start reading Srila Prabhupada's books, when we start uh, becoming more sincere to hear him, follow him, and our Guru, then this actually helps us. Srila Prabhupada has given, there are a lot of instances where Srila Prabhupada demonstrated that if we are not sincere, we cannot do anything in our devotional service. As Krishna's eternal part and parcel, it is very important for us to understand this, that the sincerity of purpose is a very important aspect of our devotional life. Becoming hypocritical is a big issue, because if we don't admit, and if we don't become mindful of this, so we cannot progress in bhakti, because we will be stuck. I mean, we will not be able to get the first rung of the ladder also. Though Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha. So the first ladder, we will be like, it will uproot us. It will make us completely, it will make us completely far from the process of devotional service. So this is what happens when we lose our sincerity of purpose. In another instance, I had heard in one of the lectures where His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he had said that it's better to be he was actually recalling from Srila Prabhupada's words only. And he was saying that it's better to be a sweeper, simple sweeper, than to be a wealthy person who has got hidden intentions. So, so the essence of this whole presentation, this whole discussion is that if we want to progress in our devotional life, if we really want to mm, please the Guru Parampara, we should we should have that sincerity of purpose. When we say purpose, the purpose is to satisfy Krishna. And that is only possible when we satisfy the representative of Krishna, when we satisfy Guru. And how can we satisfy the Guru? We can satisfy Guru by serving him. There are two kinds of services, Vani and Vapu. So, by serving means serving them by following their instructions. So, when we start following the Guru, serving the Guru, then what happens? We become sincere. And we have to maintain this integrity, we have to maintain this sincerity of purpose, because this is something which we have to do. So so that is the essence, and that is something which we need to understand. And I would like to conclude by saying that, since another instance where Srila Prabhupada mentioned about sincerity, sincerity is the purpose, or sincerity of purpose is the only qualification for Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada said this in a letter to Aniruddha in Los Angeles, 13 February 1969. Actually, when we say qualification for Krishna consciousness, if we speak about bhakti, bhakti is above the three modes of material nature. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also says in his Madhurya Kadambini that bhakti, the cause of bhakti is bhakti itself. No other thing can cause bhakti. But when we say that, when Srila Prabhupada says over here, sincerity of purpose is the qualification for Krishna consciousness, we understand that how important it is, because sincerity is something which will come from our side. So this, if we really want to qualify for Krishna consciousness, we have to be sincere. There should be no discrepancy between our words and actions, and uh, we should try to combat this anartha, like Bakasur, like we discussed in this presentation. Bakasur is the representative of this anartha. So we should combat this anartha by sticking to our principles, by becoming more faithful, and by becoming more true and sincere to our purpose. I would like to conclude by saying that, as we mentioned, hypocrisy destroys faith. So we have to be very mindful of this. As faith, whether one is a Vaidhi Bhakta or a Raganuga Bhakta, the adhikara for becoming, the adhikara means qualification. The adhikara of a Bhakta, Vaidhi Bhakta or a Premi Bhakta, is always being sincere, being faithful. That adhikara is Shraddha. So we should all try to remove this particular vice, hypocrisy, and help ourselves and to progress in our Krishna consciousness. Thank you so much. Any questions or any comments we can address? Haribol.
Wow. Thank you very much, Kulavati Krishna Priya. That was a very well researched, or very, very well articulated mm, um, talk. Well, my question would be, what do you do? Say I recognize that I'm being hypocritical. and there are chances and possibilities of becoming depressed. I'm feeling so guilty, and because there are many times, like say I'm asked to give a class, and then I may feel, oh my God, I can't present this topic because it would be hypocritical of me to present pure bhakti as a topic, because then I could get stunted, I could get stopped by my disqualification of hypocrisy and not do service. So what would you suggest? How do we deal with it?
If if that is happening, if these thoughts are coming, then we should pray and we should seek the help of senior devotees, because when we admit our faults in front of devotees, the devotees actually help us to recognize, because many a times we don't accept and we hide from devotees also. That is another kind of hypocrisy. So even hiding that will make us more depressed. So we should admit in front of devotees, we should seek the help of our seniors, and we should try to, because this is a spiritual struggle, so we should try to uh, help ourselves instead of just keeping quiet and not becoming very depressed and becoming very low. We should try to work on this, and that will only happen if we speak about it to someone. So I feel that personally also, when I feel hypocritical, I admit that in front of a few very close devotees. And that time I feel very positive. I feel that I am being authentic. That adds to my credibility to me myself also, because here I am actually saying it, that I have this feeling, because I personally have been through this. That is why I chose this topic. Have felt a lot of times hypocritical, and I have actually experienced this, that when I admit in front of some of my very devotees who I respect, whom I love, and obviously you are one of them, and they all always help me, tell me that you should do this, or they will advise me. So the immediate thing which we can do when we feel hypocritical is to go out and reach out to a very close devotee or a senior, and and confess, and then try to seek guidance from them, that what should I do. And if we have this sincerity, because the moment we are asking that, so that sincerity of purpose is coming. So the moment we are asking means we want to be sincere. So then that time what happens, Krishna is Paramatma, and the Lord will actually uh, make that devotee a medium to help us. And then what happens, this we are able to get out of this uh, very dangerous tendency. So I have actually felt like this. Okay, you are muted, Haribol.
So are we supposed to just pause and stop doing all the services that we're doing with any tinge of hypocrisy, and go and share our hearts to people we are close, and just become very withdrawn?
Mm. We should continue doing the service, because the service itself will purify us. We should not shun ourselves from everyone, because that is another kind of, I would say, another kind of ego. Because then what happens, we are becoming too proud of our being. That also becomes a problem, because we then we start thinking that I am the most hypocritical person. We are never the most, only Krishna is the most. So even that thought of I am the most hypocritical person is a kind of ego, pride, of false pride. That is also a problem. So if we don't, if we think that I am, like I am the best, if one says, so I am the best hypocrite. If we think like that, I am the best hypocrite, that is also a problem. So we should not stop the service, because the stopping of the service means that I am thinking that nobody is more hypocritical than me. So that will not help me. I have to admit that, okay, I have this problem, but I will continue my service because I want to serve. That desire for service is still there, but this is happening. So, but I am not the I mean, shunning myself. I shun myself from the whole uh, world. Then it means that I am keeping myself at the top. I'm the most hypocritical. So that is also not going to
Uh-uh.
help me. Mhm.
Anything else, ladies? Any other question, comments?
I have to say it was a beautiful class, very nicely delivered, and very nice content too.
Thank you, Mataji. Any feedback on if I can improve, or any suggestions? I would be very grateful if you can share.
Madhuri, I can tell you the positives. Your slides were so amazing. Like it stuck. Like faith equal to simplicity, hypocrisy equal to duplicity. I mean, the crux you just captured, I mean, in a few words in the slides. So it was really nice.
Thank you, Mataji. We cannot hear you.
Okay, it seems everybody is very happy about the class. You can see in the comments, different devotees are thanking you for the presentation. Ashka says, I like your presentation. Nitikishori says, thank you, Mataji, for a very nice class. Thank you so much for sharing. Wonderful class, Mataji. Thank you. Says Basudha, Hare Krishna. So everybody's happy with your class, and thank you for waking us up. Although I need to go to sleep, but that's a different thing. Mm. In one sense, it's good to hear this and then go to sleep, so I can forget all about it tomorrow morning and start being hypocritical again. It's hard to listen to a lecture like this in the early in the morning and go rest of the day and continue being hypocritical. It's easier to just go to sleep. What I mean to say is a comment. Mm, mm, just like becoming detached, like you were saying in the beginning about, mm, it's not about like giving 100% to Krishna, right? It's not about 20% I'll give to my wife and 30% I'll give to my children. So, children, wife all come under Krishna, like because they are all representatives. And we can serve Krishna through them. So the point is, when we come in the association of devotees, we are reminded of all this. Today, I'm listening to your talk, and no, it's like a little bit of like wake up call. It's like a mirror to my conscious and subconscious mind. Okay, where am I? Where am I being hypocritical? Where are the areas? How can I? It takes courage to take that look, and it's not possible unless we're in the association of devotees. This is Mashana Vairagya, no? Uh, Actually, I just came upon like a scare, video of somebody in Varanasi. There are a lot of people who die. They don't have money to go through funerals. They have this one particular fire that they just bring the bodies and just put it there like that. And I was just seeing, and the momentarily there's a detachment when we see such videos. No, that's all life is. That's it. For this body, we are suffering so much. That's the end of it. Why? So like that, whenever we hear good classes, it wakes us up. It wakes us up to like, what's the need of me being hypocritical? Who am I trying to prove anything to? When you were giving class, that's what I was thinking. I don't want to be famous. I don't want to, I don't want all those attention. And I actually want to just be sincere and progress in my life. That kind of realization comes, when we're hearing in the class. So that's why constant hearing, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, Sadhu Sangha, regularly listening, it helps because it's a reminder. The mind keeps getting washed. It's like we clean the toilet again and again. The mind also needs cleaning. So I felt like that class. It was like a good cleansing, good cleansing of the anarthas, right? Unnecessary motivations was very powerful in that way.
Even while preparing for the class, the whole process of preparation, the time spent in preparing the slides and everything, that was a deep meditation, like a samadhi on contemplating on my own journey, my own uh, dealings with devotees and everyone. So these kind of opportunities give us this this like you said, mirror. Just like hearing also keep like you were seeing a mirror. All of us, even speaking actually is having that mirror effect, because you should speak what you should, practice what you preach. So if I am actually saying, so this is, it's actually helping me also. So the whole process was very enlightening. It was a very good experience. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. So if we all come forward with anything, it's not that we have to speak very nicely, but it's anything we can prepare and speak. It will personally help us. It's just not a matter of giving a good class or something like that. So I would like to express my like this realization I felt while preparing the while researching, preparing for the slides. It was it was a purifying process. I felt it was purifying, and I'm very happy after delivering the class. How I'm feeling, that is also that it's like I'm feeling that purification, the effect of that purification. So I would say that honestly, that I felt that.
Yeah, it's amazing. This is powerful, actually. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Have a good day. Have a good day, Kulavati, Ashka, and Vasudha, and good night, Kamal, Natikeshwari.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
everyone.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.